This is the first presentation of a 10-part series on the spiritual exercises. My name is Father Larry Gillick, a Jesuit. We are in the chapel of the Jesuit community at Creighton University in Omaha, Nebraska. We are using Kevin O'Brien's book, The Ignatian Adventure. Let me tell you what this is not. I am not offering a retreat. The book is your making the retreat. These 10 presentations are a guide or reflections or little things I have learned over the past 60 years as a Jesuit. I did my theology in Toronto at Regis College of the University of Toronto. And I stand on the shoulders of many Jesuits from Toronto who helped me grow in the awareness of the exercises. So what I am offering is helps for you to make the exercises. So let us begin. Each presentation, there will be, of course, the pages that you will be praying with. Each 2 or 3 weeks, a new presentation will be posted. But as Ignatius would say, always stay where you are gaining fruit. It's not a race. It's not even a walk. It's a sit or a slow stroll. It's not about learning. In a sense, in Spanish, Ignatius would write, La cosa más importante, the most important thing is not to know, not to learn, no es saber, but sentir y gustar, to taste and relish your personal experience. Ignatius would not want you to make the retreat the way Ignatius made it. God deals with us uniquely, and we have to trust that. See, one important thing we're going to learn is that prayer, intimacy, relationships, all the same word in a way, cannot be standardized. A married couple do not find the quality of their relationship from some book or standard guide. It's unique. And so is our relationship with God. And it can't be standardized, it can't be measured. But in our North American culture, measurement is everything. Qualification is everything. Quantification is everything. When that becomes part of the relationship is dying. Whether it's between people, among families, friends. We don't ask God, how am I doing? But we get tempted. So a lot of what we're going to be praying with in the exercises is learning the importance, and we'll come back to this, the importance of temptation. The temptation to want to know, how am I doing? Give me a number. Give me a grade. I want to know my quality. No, relationships are mysterious. And that's the first aspect that Kevin O'Brien, the author of the book you're using for retreat, he says it's an adventure. All relationships are adventure if they're deepening. Because it's two mysteries meeting and moving around each other. But don't qualify it. That's the death of the relationship. How are you doing? Don't ask. I was the superior at our high school here in Omaha, and we had a weight room. And I was in the weight room the first day of school, and the first year students, grade 9, freshmen, some of them came to the weight room, and because it's a male school, all the walls of the weight room were mirrors, so everyone could see how they're doing. And I noticed that freshmen would be doing some lifting, and then they'd go over to the mirror and flex their muscles to check it out, to see if they had made any progress. Progress is a temptation. So it's an adventure of meeting God and God's meeting you and trusting it, and don't qualify it. The other temptation in the exercises, and it will be a temptation for you because we all are in this, is to go through it too quickly. Imagine going through the Louvre in Paris in 20 minutes. Just saying, oh, that's nice, that's nice. That'd be a violation not only of the artwork, but of yourself. We have a wonderful exercise room here at Creighton University with many exercise machines. And I was thinking, imagine walking into the weight room and coming out and saying, oh, there's no progress. Or to do the push away too quickly, or just one and say, well, how am I doing? Don't ask yourself how you're doing. See, that's the theme of this first presentation. Watch presentations for you, not you for the presentation. One of the things I'll do in these presentations is give you maxims, and they'll be posted, and a poem. So the first maxim, the first little help today is that love is aggressive. It's a theological statement in a way. For Ignatius, in his beginning of his year of recovery, from which the exercises come, and you can read about that in pages 1 to 31 in the text. He's sitting in the mountains of northern Spain, and he says, is there a God? And he comes to the realization, yes. And we all have to struggle with that. Is there a God in our lives? But the second question is really where the exercises begin. And it's this. What does God do as God? And there's been many images in our history of, is God way out there? God doesn't care? Or is God so in that God forces everybody to do what God wants? Or does God play with us? Or does God punish us? We have to start with our image of God. So I offer Ignatius's image. Ignatius says, God labors. And we're going to see that all through the exercises. That's fundamental. Okay, one of the definitions, if you will, that I'll be working with, coming out of my own experience of God and myself, is that spirituality, whatever it is, Christian, Jewish, Hindi, Buddhist, Muslim, whatever you call spirituality, it is actually a living thing. It is an everyday experience of living with the tensions. Now, listen to this. Listen to your tensions that are caused by what you believe. So our theology, our belief system is going to cause tension. Yes, if as Christians we would say, every time Jesus did something with the apostles, with his friends, every time God made an intervention in the history of Israel, the call of Moses, Abraham, Jeremiah, Isaiah, Amos, the call to our Blessed Mother, to Peter. What is he doing? He's putting them in tension. Come follow me. You're going to be the mother of the Messiah. Is that a tension? Can you imagine that? Living with that. Now in our culture, of course, as you know, the advertisements are, how do you spell relief? How do you spell relief from your tensions? You can get these insoles for your shoes. You can get this kind of apparatus that'll take the pain out of your shoulder. Everything is oriented towards getting rid of tension. And you can walk away from tension in the spiritual life. You can resolve the tensions of Jesus saying, well, not today. Okay, the tension will be there tomorrow. Every time we face Jesus, he's looking at us saying, can you live with me in your life? You might be hearing a lot about my father, who was a great man in my life, in the life of our family. And I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and we had many tall Christmas trees in our state. And he would bring home a very tall one, so that it was as broad at top as at bottom. It was straight up. And he would cut off the top, and the top of the Christmas tree was near the ceiling, flat. But he had to have it in our living room, so he moved all the furniture around so that the tree would fit. The tree rearranged furniture, which was quite a tension for my mother, of course. We delighted in it. Chairs all over the place, tables all over the place. But the Christmas tree was the center. Jesus came to move furniture around in our lives. And that's what the exercises are about, to help us face ourselves. Do you really want to do that? Ignatius would say, you will know that you want to do it if you can experience, he would say, magnanimity, big soul, generosity. Can you let Jesus in? Could my mother let the Christmas tree in? Well, she would say, for 2 weeks. Jesus came to stay. I am making my home in you. You make your home in me. And we will see during these days how Jesus made his home in the lives of many. So the very first, remember, spirituality is attention. We're going to see it all through these days of your making your retreat. The first maxim then, statement, is that love, human love, any love, is aggressive. The word aggressive means to go out, moving out, revealing itself. Love wants to be known. So there's a lot of, here at the university, there's a lot of courting. And people have to be in positions to be found in a way. They have to be available to receive the aggressiveness, the gentle aggressive. And this tension I mentioned, it's not a tenseness. It's a relaxed awareness of the creativeness of tension. Tension creates energy. All relationships, if you haven't noticed, all relationships have a tension. He wants this, she wants that. And you work with it, or you say, no, we're done. Too much tension. Or I'm going to resolve the tension. I'm going to walk out for 5 minutes. So love is aggressive, always coming toward. Love wants to be received. And love wants to communicate. And of course, we have a God who wants to be heard and be seen. So God labors to be seen in our lives. And so what does that mean for us? It means attentiveness, openness, availability. But that's attention, because we want to be aware of what's good for me or what's good for them, but everything else. That's why you don't walk through the Louvre quickly. Walk slowly. We walk slowly through the exercises. No hurry. Go at your pace. The second maxim for today, and these maxims will be posted. God cannot keep God's love inside God. God is the communicator. God is the gift giver. And we'll see it often during these days. God is the creator. God will never give us anything. God will never give us anyone that will make God obsolete. Very important. Because we, as selfish, small-hearted people, we want to make little gods out of things. You will complete me. It will complete me. They will complete me. I will complete me. No. As soon as you ask for completion from something that can't give you completion, that relationship is dying. But it's a temptation. He is my all. No, he's not your all. They're not your all. I'm not my all. But God will never give us anything that will make God obsolete. Very important. And you'll pray with that in the Ignatian Adventure, facing that. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing in the spiritual life. It's not about learning. Remember, no es saber. It's not cognition, but recognition of learning to be found. So we don't find God. I found Jesus. No, you didn't. The aggressive love of God is always seeking. Our struggle is to be aware of, where am I being found? Where have I chosen to be lost? In what did I try to find completion? What was my everything? My position, my possessions, my relationships. Now, as soon as you do that, you're getting tangled up, unfree. So those are the maxims. Every presentation, and there'll be 10 presentations, there will be a poem, different authors, and they'll be posted too. The one for today is about prayer too. I will be using a poet from India, a non-Christian poet who writes as if he were a Christian. Tagore, the poem. Day after day of my life, shall I stand before thee face to face? With folded hands, O Lord of all worlds, shall I stand before thee face to face? Under thy great sky, in solitude and silence, with humble heart, shall I stand before thee face to face. In this laborious world of thine, tumultuous with toil and with struggle, among hurrying crowds, shall I stand before thee face to face? And when my work shall be done in this world, O King of Kings, alone and speechless, shall I stand before thee face to face? Well, where am I then? Where do I start? One of the key aspects of making the exercises is honesty, truth. I can only pray with what's true. I might not like truth. There's lots of truth about me I don't like. But I have to pray with them. Not about them, pray with them. And there's a difference, and we'll talk about that. Ignatius would say, before you pray, stand a pace or two from the place, from the holy place that God makes holy by His being with you there. And you ask the simple question, how are you? Many times in a day we say to people, how are you? And they ask you, how are you? And my imagination is that neither of you is very interested in the answer. How are you? It's just an introduction. But there is the loving experience of people's saying, how are you? That's the question. Where am I? How am I? What's my truth? How does His aggressive love find me? And as you are praying, you will see that in O'Brien very much. The infinite, unconditional love of God meets us where we are. I have to be where I am. And even if I'm running away and hiding and pretending, we have to believe, it's our theology, it's our tension, it's our spirituality, that God is already there. I just catch up with myself and say, this is my truth. And based on my truth, how I am, then I will ask, what am I looking for? What are you looking for? What do you want? What's the incomplete in your life? What's your truth that longs for more truth? Now again, please, I say, slowly, please, slowly, gently. This is not, and this is really important. Everything I say is important, but this is really important. The exercises are not about self-improvement. If you are in a relationship and it's all about your improvement, then it's not a relationship, it's a business. You go to the physical therapist, the dentist, the chiropodist. You go for self-improvement. That's a business. And he or she ought to help you. And you're better for it. The exercises and spirituality is not about self-improvement. It's about being found. There might be improvement. Yes, there might be improvement. But you're not in charge of it. I'm not in charge of my improvement. 60 years a Jesuit. In some ways I think I'm worse now than when I entered. Or at least I'm more aware of my need for God's mercy and care and grace. Perhaps one of the big elements of spirituality, one of the big penances or mortifications is letting go of self-improvement. Now you say to me, then why make the exercises? So that God will improve you. God will help you understand who you are. Oh, then it's psychology then. We're into 10 presentations on psychology. Oh no. This goes way beyond, the exercises go way beyond psychology. But because it's dealing with the human, yes, there is some psychology. There is some analogies about relationships and things. But as soon as you start looking, how are you growing? How are your muscles growing? You're not making the exercises. You're making yourself. You are your creator. No, no, no. God is our constant creator. God is the aggressor. God is the one who finds. God is the one who improves. I'm not in charge of that. I am in charge of showing up, not showing off. I'm there in my simplicity, face to face. So this is a beginning. There will be other poems and things, but don't race through the Louvre. Don't race through relationships. Be patient and gentle with yourself. Jared Manley Hopkins, the Jesuit poet, says, "My own heart let me more have pity on. Leave comfort root room." That's where we are. We're letting him, this loving God, letting this God find me. I have to be honest. I have to say, how am I? And I have to listen to the answer, how am I? And pray with it. Receive it face to face. Be patient.